Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. If this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, just know that I do a variety of content. Like I do content about anything. Tomorrow I could be speaking about finance, today I could be speaking about sex, and tomorrow I could be speaking about traveling. So welcome. I hope you enjoy this episode and I hope you take something out of it. I'm just going to share with you guys briefly my journey with acne and trying to get my skin clear, and the cost and the emotional labor that I had to endure over the years just to get my skin clear. I've had acne since my teen years. I think I was like 13 or 14, or maybe even earlier than that. I can't really remember, but I've had it most part of my life. Does that make sense? Most part of my life? Okay, whichever it is, but I've had acne for the longest time, and I only started treating it when I was in high school. So please never mind the sound. I hope it doesn't ruin the audio because it's raining. So I started treating my acne when I was in high school. And the first thing that the doctor, our family doctor, put me on to treat my acne was Benzoc. I think at that time you needed a prescription to get it. I'm not sure on which schedule it is now, because I usually see it around those sections where they sell like face products, so you can get it without a prescription. I'm not sure why that is the case. Anyway, it's what it is. My doctor put me on Benzoc for, I was supposed to use it for 6 months, but I used it for a week because it burned my skin. He didn't tell me something that I recently found out from a dermatologist that I used to go to. Actually, not recently, because it was 2 years ago, that you have to apply it in a manner that it gets used to your skin. So what he had suggested was I should have put it on for 5 minutes at night, because you're not supposed to be in the sun when you're using Benzoc. Put it on before I sleep, just for 5 minutes, and wash my face and put a moisturizer for a week or 2 or 3, and then until it gets used to my skin. And I think I should have, at this age, seeked for help earlier, because I realized how much of it actually affected me in primary. Like, I started wearing makeup at a young age, and it wasn't because I loved it. I was trying to cover what's on my face, because you would wake up in the morning, take a shower, wear clean clothes, but still you feel so dirty because of the acne. Like, that's how it made me feel. It made me feel very self-conscious. I didn't like that. I still don't like that as an adult. Other than other things that I had to deal with at a young age and as a young adult, I feel that if I didn't have acne, I could have a better outlook on life now and on how I view myself. I mean, I'm trying to kind of appreciate the person that I've become, the person that I am becoming, but I feel that if I did not have acne most parts of my life, I would look at life differently. You know, I would have focused on other things that matter in life, or matter to me, or things that I should improve about myself than my skin. So I actually went back to the doctor, and then I told him that Benzoc was not working, but that was, I think, a year later. I think I was in grade 10 or 9, and then he told me that there was something that he can give me only if I promise him I won't be pregnant. I'm like, why not? I'm like very young. Okay, kids at my age were getting pregnant, obviously, but I mean, I want clear skin. Why would I be pregnant? Even if I was to be pregnant. He didn't tell me then that it was Acnetain or Oratane, because you're not supposed to get pregnant while you're on this. I mean, what he could have done maybe was put me on contraceptives as well. So, okay, he keeps on giving me these stupid creams that never worked. Oh. Okay, likely then I was using my mom's medical aid, so I was not incurring any costs, except that it kept, you know, making me think that maybe there's something wrong with me. Why is a doctor prescribing me all these things and they don't work? I'm not quite sure which topical cream. I'm not sure if they're called topical creams. They should be called topical creams, or what do they call them? I think it's topical creams. So he gave me another one which has the same ingredients as Benzoic, so same results. It burned me. He didn't tell me that I should even it out, like apply it moderately so that it gets used to my skin. He didn't tell me that. Like, okay, cool, it looks like I'm not gonna get the help that I need. It's fine. So I left high school. I went to varsity with the same acne, with the same low self-esteem. Like, I feel like I could have been a very different person if I did not have acne all those years, you know. I would have been super confident, because this confidence that you see here, it's like a recent thing when I realized that, you know what, there are so many things great about me, and having acne shouldn't overshadow those things. I mean, it's nice to have good skin. Like, I would pay any money to have good skin, trust me. So I went to varsity, and I got introduced to different people, and there was this lady who told me that, oh, you know what, this is what I use. I went to a dermatologist and he put me on this. I'm like, oh really? It's like, yeah. And then I made an appointment with a dermatologist for the first time in my life. So I made an appointment with a dermatologist, right? And then he had a look at me, and I told him that I don't want to see any topical creams. If he wants to prescribe a topical cream for me, it must be for something else, not my skin. And then we agreed that we are not gonna go there. And then he's like, okay, cool, your acne, he said something about bacteria. I don't remember it verbatim, but he said something about bacteria being a major contributor to my acne. I was like, okay, you know it, you went to medical school, so what do you recommend? He wrote me a prescription for 6 months for an antibiotics. I'm gonna try and find the name of that antibiotics, the name of that antibiotic. So he prescribed me that antibiotic for a whole 6 months, and we didn't do any liver tests. We didn't do any liver tests. He wrote me a prescription for 6 months, and he didn't say you must come back after a month, let's see how it's doing. He just put me on that antibiotic. It's huge like this, that thing, and it's in a silver wrapper, and like they are those huge ones. I took it for I think 2 months, and I started losing so much weight. I started losing my hair, and these white things in my eyes were yellow, my teeth were yellow. I was like just out of the blue. I would just break down and cry, and I started experiencing suicidal thoughts. I have to say though, the antibiotic did actually work for my skin. It was clearing, but I was still getting like big pimples, but just once in a while. So I called this doctor. So I'm anemic. Maybe that could have been a contributing factor. I called this doctor. I'm like, hey, I'm experiencing something weird. I don't know what it is, but do you possibly think that the antibiotics could be causing this? It's like, there's no way. I've been in practice for so long. None of my patients have told me that. Okay, fine. I moved to Cape Town because I felt like maybe the environment could be what was making me feel like that. So I visited my sister in Cape Town. I read something on acne.org someone who was on the same antibiotics and had the same experience. And I was like, okay. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna go to another doctor, a competent one. So I go to this doctor. I prefer doctors who are old because I have this misconception that they know work better than young doctors. I know, I'm so sorry. So I went to this doctor, and then he ran a couple of tests because he thought maybe I had leukemia, because you could literally see me that I was like dying. Like here, you could just put water, and like, yo guys, I was a fucking mess. We did a test for leukemia and thyroid, because he also thought that maybe my thyroid could be a problem. And he did a test for, because I already told him that I'm anemic, but I wasn't taking any supplements at the time. So we ran a couple of tests, and they all came back except my white blood cells were very low. Is it white blood cells? Iron. They were very low, and he was like, you need to get off that medication before you get admitted. It's like, yeah. And then he prescribed me iron supplements. Just that only. Oh, the other thing is, why am I forgetting this big important thing? So before I could go to the doctor, after reading that article, I got shingles. You know, when your immune system is compromised. I remember at that time, I wasn't really in a relationship or sexually active. And you know, the misconception that you get shingles when you're HIV because your immune system is compromised. So, is it that true? I don't know. Those things are like very small pimples, but they are so painful. Like, they are so painful. You think you got shot. He prescribed me something for the shingles. I think there were like 5 tablets or something. So I was taking the iron supplements and those medication. So guys, within a week of being off those antibiotics, I started like being myself again, you know. My nails were not flaking. I wasn't getting like dizzy spells. I was happy, you know. Yeah, so that's my first experience of trying to get healthy skin. It nearly killed me. Someone said to me that my acne could be hormonal because I only get it here. I actually went to a dermatologist and I was like, hey, do you think my acne is hormonal? And she was like, yeah, it's possible. I'm like, do you mind putting me on Yasmin? Because I've read on it and a lot of people had positive reviews about it. And then it's like, oh cool, okay, I'll put you on Yasmin. She put me on Yasmin for 3 months, and then I started getting pains on here, my abdomen, like here. I would get like, not really pains, but like discomfort. You feel that something is not right. I went to a doctor first, and then he was like, he does not understand how this is like happening. And I told him that this only happens at a certain time in the evening when I go to sleep. Like, I don't feel anything painful, but there's just something wrong here. And then in the pursuit of trying to get clear skin, guys, all this in the pursuit of trying to get clear skin. Oh shit. Okay, so I went to the specialist and he did some scans, and then he's like, yeah, there's definitely something, but I don't understand why this minor thing is making you feel the way you do. Apparently there were blood just moving around inside my stomach. Inside my stomach, guys. Like, no. So I stopped taking Yasmin. I had to go in for surgery. So the lady, very young lady, very young, she opens me up with a team of experts, according to her, and they drained out the blood. They took out my appendix. They didn't give me a diagnosis. Oh, and the medical bill, it was 65,000 for 2 nights in hospital and that surgery. So the cost of getting clear skin, is it worth it? I don't know. I moved to Joburg and I was like, okay, let me try one more time. That was my first time being on Acnetain. And then I went to this doctor. He put me on Acnetain for 6 months. In the first month, we ran liver function tests and they were fine. And then he was like, he set me down. We had like a very long consultation. So I took Oratane for 3 months and I could already see the result. So my first encounter with Oratane, I did not have flare-outs like I do now. You see? You see? I did not have like flare-outs like I did now. So the only side effects I had was dry lips. I finished my 6 months course, and then 3 years later in 2018 I started breaking out again, and then I went to this other doctor in Cape Town, in Blowback. Yeah, in Blowback. He's not a dermatologist, but he's just a normal doctor. He put me on Acnetain again. I took it for 6 months in 2018, so 19, 20, 2021 January this year I start breaking out. Yeah, so now that's why I am here. And at the age that I am, I'm 27, so I am considered an adult, even though my bank account doesn't say adult. So I'm off my mom's medical aid and I had to endure all the costs of getting on this. First, I have to pay for consultation with a dermatologist, which is like 750, and then I had to buy this cash. Okay, the first pharmacy that I went to, which is our local one, they overcharged me for Acnetain. They actually even gave me Oratane, which I don't like, because as much as they say it's a generic for Acnetain, I feel like it doesn't do the same work as Acnetain. So they charged me 475 for 30 of these. I went to Discount yesterday because I had disposable income that I wanted to use, and I told them that they should give me 60 of them for 2 months, so that I don't have to come back in the next 2 months, and also that I don't spend the money on useless shit, because being a young adult, it's very expensive. So which means if you're going to be on Acnetain, you are looking at 338 rands. This is the costs of 60 of them. That's for 2 months. I don't know. Let's wrap it up. I don't know if this is the best way to go about it. I've spoken to one of my friends and she was like, maybe you should consult a specialist and then see what is the cause of your acne, because you cannot be on Acnetain the rest of your life, which I agree with her. But at the moment, I am not in a financial position. Doctors are expensive, guys, and medication is expensive. And those people, remember, they are doing guesswork. They just eliminate. They write 5 problems that could be there and they eliminate. They're like, okay, maybe it can be them. So the process of you getting to figure that that's your problem when you are a student like me, okay, maybe a candidate attorney, and your only source of income is a stipend of 6,000, you really need to think about it like very hard. You really need to think about it very hard. So I'm just waiting for a time where I get a normal job and I get money that is substantial. Then I will consult with a specialist so that we can just put this to rest. If you guys have any questions regarding any of the things that I just shared here, please just drop me a DM on my Twitter, just down here, on my Instagram, just up there, on my LinkedIn. Okay, I'm joking, let's not take it there. But if you have any questions, you can just comment on the comment box below and then I will attend to it. But yeah, that has been my journey of trying to get clear skin. I almost died. I spent 65,000, and yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough being a woman. Okay, I think acne affects both sex equally, so it's just tough living with a skin that doesn't inspire confidence. So currently I am breaking out, as you can see. This is my second week. And my lips as expected. So I hope you guys found this informative. If you have not, I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next episode of my YouTube channel.